Hello, and welcome back to another episode of In the Pink. Before we start today's episode, I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you told yourself, I'll start on Monday? And I want you to listen to this self-love affirmation of the week. I do not need to be perfect to make progress. Every step I take is proof that I am growing, learning, and becoming the person I want to be. Remember, one imperfect day does not erase your progress. Your worth is not measured by your productivity, your workout streak, or how closely you followed a plan. Your consistency is built through self-compassion, not self-punishment. So, if you haven't already, subscribe to this podcast for more content on healthy habits, mindset, wellness, confidence, and personal growth. And my favorites this week, I would have to say The Freedom-Based Business Method by Natalie Ellis. She is the founder of Boss Babe on Instagram. And also, I listened to her book on Audible. This is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, but I like to listen to it while I'm walking on the treadmill on an incline of 8. And that's how I really feel like really grows not only my glutes, but also produces definition in my thighs. I'm not saying you have to do it, but that's just one thing that I do. And after that, I like to do Jessie James Decker's JJD Fit app and her 21-day challenge. And with those workouts actually come active rest days like hot girl walks and yoga. And I also love YouTube videos by, she's literally called Fit by Mick. I'll put her channel down in the description below. And another favorite of mine, I have to say, is the color Butter Yellow, especially my new set from Fabletics. I could live in that set, I should say. And it's literally like a tank top, shorts with shorts underneath, and just like these really cute butter yellow socks. I'm just obsessed. So anyway, if you keep starting over every Monday, you don't have a discipline problem. You have a pattern problem, because here's what usually happens. Sunday night hits and there's this quiet panic. And I feel like this is where the Sunday scaries come from. Or at least part of it, because you scroll, you reflect, and you think about everything that didn't go right that week. So Monday becomes this symbolic reset button. A new week, a new diet, a new routine, and a new identity. And it all feels good, but very briefly. One second, I got a notification. But by Wednesday or Thursday, the plan just cracks. And something small happens, like stress, fatigue, a social event, or even a missed workout, and suddenly it's not like, oh, I missed a day. It becomes like, oh, I fell off, so I might as well restart on Monday. And that cycle, it's not random. It's psychology. More specifically, it's something behavioral scientists call the all or nothing mindset combined with the fresh start effect. And today we're breaking both of those down so you can stop restarting your life every 7 days and actually build habits that stick in real life. And the Monday reset is actually a real psychological effect. Behavioral scientists call this the fresh start effect. Research from the University of Pennsylvania and Wharton School found that people are more likely to pursue goals after temporal landmarks, things like Mondays, birthdays, New Year's, or even the first of the month. I'm laughing because I'm thinking of that sound on TikTok. You probably know what I mean. Why? Because your brain naturally separates time into mental chapters. So Monday feels like either a clean slate, a new identity window, a chance to detach from past behavior. It gives this emotional relief. But here's the problem. Fresh start is not the same thing as a sustainable system. It creates what psychologists call goal discontinuity, meaning instead of seeing your life as continuous, your brain starts splitting it into, oh, I was good last week, now I'm starting over. That creates a hidden cost. You never build momentum. Because every time you quote unquote restart, you reset your progress psychologically, even if your body or behavior didn't fully reset. And that leads to something very important. And this is called all or nothing thinking, which is actually cognitive distortion. So in cognitive psychology, there's something called the all or nothing thinking, also known as black and white thinking. It's one of the most cognitive distortions studied in CBT, which is short for cognitive behavioral therapy. It looks like, oh, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all. And I ate badly today, so the whole day is ruined, blah, blah, blah. And I missed one workout, so the week is over, blah, blah, blah. And research shows this mindset is strongly linked with lower habit adherence, higher relapse in behavior change, and increased stress and self-criticism, and also reduced long-term consistency. One study found in behavior research and therapy found that rigid thinking patterns significantly reduce long-term adherence to health behaviors because people abandon goals after small deviations instead of just adjusting. So instead of, I missed a workout, so I'll do something later today, the all or nothing brain says, I failed, so I'll just restart later. But here's the truth. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about error tolerance. I almost said intolerance, but it's actually tolerance. Your habits only become stable when they can survive imperfection. And here's why starting over actually backfires, because every time you start over Monday, you unintentionally reinforce a psychological loop. So let's break it down, shall we? Number one, you set a strict plan. The key word here is strict. 2, you rely on motivation. 3, life interrupts the plan. 4, you interpret that as a failure. 5, you reset the plan completely. And this is what psychologists call extinction and reinstatement of behavior loops. So it's basically, instead of building a habit, you keep extinguishing and restarting it. And the brain never gets enough repetition to automate the behavior. Because here's what habit science shows. According to research from University College London, habits form through contextual repetition, not intensity, meaning doing something consistently in a stable environment. And matters more than doing it perfectly or intensely. So, another key finding is missing one instance of a habit does not meaningfully disrupt a habit formation, but emotional interpretation of that miss does. So, it's not the missed workout that breaks consistency, it's the meaning you attach to it. And the real problem is you're building intensity plans, not systems. And most people don't fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they build identity-driven intensity plans instead of systems. An intensity plan sounds like, I'm going to be perfect this week. I'm going to eat clean, work out 5 days, and then reset everything. It feels powerful, but it's unstable. Why? Because it requires high motivation, perfect conditions, emotional stability, and zero disruption. And real life has none of those things consistently. And systems, on the other hand, are built on minimum viable actions, flexibility, repetition, forgiveness. In behavioral science, this is called habit stacking with friction reduction. You don't try to become a new person every Monday. You design a version of your routine that still works on your worst day, because your worst day is still part of your life. And here's how to break the Monday reset cycle. You want to stick around for this. So let's make this practical. If you want to break the cycle, there are 4 key shifts that you must make. Replace starting over with continuing. Your identity shift is huge here. Instead of, I'm starting over Monday, try, I am continuing my routine, just adjusted. This keeps momentum psychologically intact. 2, use the minimum baseline rule. This comes from behavioral activation therapy. You define the smallest version of your habit that still counts. Examples include like a 5-minute walk instead of a full workout, protein and water instead of a perfect meal plan, 1 page of journaling instead of a full routine. And why this works, it preserves identity and repetition even on low energy days. 3, break the emotional meaning of mistakes. And this is coming from a recovering perfectionist and a recovering people pleaser, may I add. So a missed habit is data, not identity. Instead of like, I fell off, try, I interrupted the pattern, not the process. This reduces shamed-based results or resets, which are one of the biggest predictors of quitting behaviors entirely, even good ones. 4, eliminate week-based thinking. Not weak as in like, I'm weak, but like week as in like the 7 days. Your brain loves weeks because they feel structured. But habits don't care about the weeks of time. They care about frequency, context, and repetition. So instead of like, I need to be perfect this week, shift to, I just need to do the right thing today. So here's the reframe that changes everything. You don't need a new Monday. You need a new relationship with inconsistency. Because consistency is not never missing, never slipping, never restarting. Consistency is returning without punishment. And that's the difference between a habit that lasts 2 weeks and a life that actually changes. So, if you've been stuck in the Monday reset cycle, I want you to hear this very, very clearly. You are not failing your habits. Your habits are failing your system. And the moment you stop restarting your identity every freaking week is the moment your life actually starts compounding. Not perfectly, not cleanly, but consistently. And consistency is what changes everything. So, I hope this podcast episode sparked a chord of truth within you, because this was just a thrill to make, and it honestly changed my perspective on inconsistent habits and, times where you fall off very deeply. Like I said, I am a recovering perfectionist, and honestly, you might be too. I mean, if you're in America, there's no doubt that you are. And it doesn't matter where you're from. It just matters that, you get back up on your feet again. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Be sure to subscribe to In the Pink on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get podcasts. And leave a 5-star rating, because that helps a lot. So I will see you next week. Mwah. Bye.